Hey guys, welcome back to Vlogmas. Today I wanted to share an updated list of items I stopped buying. I thought this would be appropriate given that this is like the most shopping heavy time of year. There's so many sales going on. Everyone online is telling you you need to buy this, you need to buy this. So these are some things that I used to buy, just not really thinking about it, thinking, yeah, this is just what you buy. Some of these are things that brands or influencers would have you believe are like essential items, but in reality, I've been living just fine without buying these for like the past year. And I think it's a good reminder that just because something is seen as an essential step in your beauty routine to a lot of people doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be for you. One thing I realized I really should stop buying is colorful eyeliners, pencil liners, liquid liners, any kind of eyeliner that has an unusual color, something that I don't wear more than like maybe once a year as an eyeliner color. I don't need to buy that in an eyeliner form because I have a huge collection of eyeshadows, any of which I can turn into an eyeliner just by picking it up on an eyeliner brush and using it that way. Or if I want to make it even more intense, I can wet my brush and I get a really similar effect to what I would get from a liquid liner. I feel like colorful eyeliners can be so tempting because it's very easy to come across a fun color of eyeliner, like let's say a neon pink eyeliner, and think, wow, I don't have anything like that. This totally makes sense to buy. This is going to fill in a gap in my collection. But as I've said, and I feel like I've said this a couple times recently, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself too much, but a lot of times if there's a gap in my collection, it's because I don't need that thing. Like I've been just fine without it. And when it comes to eyeliner, I really only reach for neutral colors, black, brown, sometimes a nude liner. I have like a rose gold pencil eyeliner that I like to wear in my waterline. Things like that make sense to have in an eyeliner form because it's something I can easily reach for. But for example, I had this really pretty cobalt blue liquid liner from Makeup Revolution. I probably used that liner less than 10 times over the couple of years that I had it, and it dried out before I could ever use it up. Since I decluttered that, I haven't had the urge to wear cobalt blue eyeliner, but if I ever do, I can easily find that color in one of my palettes and use that. The other thing with eyeliners, especially liquid liners, is that they don't have a very long shelf life. If you're putting something really close to your eye that you're dipping back into a tube, similar to mascaras, you probably want to toss that around like the 6-month mark, I'm guessing. Sometimes I hold out a little bit longer with liquid liners, even though you're not supposed to. But point being, I don't really think it's worth it to have any liquid liner unless you're going to be using it at least a handful of times a month. Another thing I've stopped buying because I would always fall into the trap of buying these thinking, this is such a fun thing, I'm going to use this all the time, and then I never end up using it, is under eye patches, those little hydrogel under eye masks. Really any face masks for that matter, I've stopped buying. I stopped buying face masks a long time ago just because I never use them. I feel like, I put a lot of thought into my skincare routine and I don't ever really feel like I'm missing something that a mask would do for me. But under eye patches, I was holding on to those a little bit longer, even though I stopped buying masks, because I like the idea of an under eye patch. They're refreshing, they can help with depuffing, but let's be real. I mean, I guess my under eyes get puffy sometimes, but when they do, I don't really feel like I need to do anything about it, because usually it just goes away on its own. Yeah, I guess under eye puffiness just isn't a huge concern for me, so I don't really have a use for under eye patches. But last year I bought like a big jar of those Pixie under eye masks, which I know are really popular. A lot of people love them. They're just these hydrogel masks. But I think I ended up using maybe 3 pairs of like the whole jar, and then it just mostly sat on my bathroom counter for a year. And when I used them, I felt like they would kind of burn and sting my under eyes, which is probably not the fault of the Pixie masks specifically, because I feel like that's happened to me with a lot of other under eye masks as well, like single-use ones that I've used before. So if you are an under eye mask person, maybe you would really enjoy those, but for me, they just ended up taking up unnecessary space. It was a waste of money, and they didn't really do that much for me. If my under eyes are ever really super puffy, I would probably just do the spoon trick, where you put a spoon in the fridge or the freezer, and then like hold it onto your under eye for a little bit. I feel like that would do the same exact thing. So I'm good. I'm gonna save my money and just really masks of all kinds. I don't need them. Foot masks, face masks, butt masks I've seen. Like, I'm good. I don't need that. Something I've stopped buying more recently is lipstick. I have fully hopped on the bandwagon of tinted lip balms and lip glosses, lip oils, whatever, most of them are really the same thing as a gloss, but that's where the lip trends seem to be headed lately, and I am all for it. It took me a while to really embrace that though, because I was holding on to my lipsticks. I had a large lipstick collection. I mean, I still have way more lipsticks than I need, but I've stopped buying bullet lipsticks. Liquid lipsticks I stopped buying forever ago. But even bullet lipsticks now, I just don't wear them very often. I feel like I have all the colors I could possibly need. Most of the time I'm reaching for a nude lipstick if I'm wearing one, and sometimes I still enjoy a bold lip, but for the most part, I would rather just put on a lighter color. I don't have to worry if it's gonna get outside my lips or get on my teeth, or if it does get on my teeth, it's like not as big of a deal. And I really just like the look of a lip gloss on my lips lately. Like I like how it makes my lips look full, and tinted balms are just so much easier. I can like apply them without a mirror and it's just so much quicker, so much easier, way lower maintenance. And the other thing that's really motivated me to minimize my purchasing of any lip products, but it's made it a lot easier to just stop buying lipsticks altogether, is the fact that I have been developing some sort of allergy to lip products. Still trying to figure out what the ingredients are that I'm allergic to. I thought it was castor oil, but now I'm not sure. Long story short, I'm figuring it out. I don't really want to get much more into it than that, but a lot of people were suggesting that I see an allergist or get some sort of patch testing done. I'm definitely looking into that. But a lot of lip products have started irritating my throat, so I have actually really just been trying to narrow down what in my collection I can still wear and what I can't. So in the meantime, it's made it a lot easier to just say like, no more, not buying any more glosses, oils, tinted balms, regular balms, like lip products as a whole, I've stepped away from, but especially lipstick, I can see myself really like going months and months without buying any new ones. I did buy the e.l.f. O Face lipstick a couple months ago, and I'm enjoying that one, but that was the last one I bought, and I just feel like I have all the lipstick shades that I could need, and I don't really ever find myself tempted to buy a new shade. Even if it's a shade I don't already have, I'm still not feeling like, oh, I need to add that into my collection. It just doesn't tempt me anymore, so that's good. Another thing I stopped buying and never looked back is face palettes. I love an eyeshadow palette. Like, I will always be a fan of palettes, I think. Even though palettes are kind of out of fashion now, I still love them. But face palettes are a completely different story to me, because a lot of the time there will be one or two shades in a face palette that I love, that I maybe end up hitting pan on, and then usually there's a couple shades in there that I don't use. Like, either I don't use them at all, or I don't use them nearly at the same rate as I use my favorite shades. So I end up using up like half the palette, and then the other half of the palette I don't really have much of a use for. Also, a lot of times face palettes will have shades in them that work for multiple different skin tones. Like, there will be some light shades, some deeper shades. Most of the time, all of those shades are not going to work for the same one person. Those kinds of face palettes really are meant for makeup artists. Those are meant for people who are going to be doing other people's makeup, and I can definitely see the appeal of an all-in-one face palette. If it's all shades that you're going to use and it just makes getting ready quicker, or it's something you can travel with, I totally get that. But for me, I've just realized it makes a lot more sense to stick to single cheek products. I don't feel like I need to have multiple blush options or bronzer options or highlight options in one palette. And even if it is a face palette where all the shades do work for me, even then I'm still probably going to end up using one shade more than the others, and then it just bugs me to have like the one that I liked used up, and then what am I going to do with the rest of the palette, you know? So for me, it just makes way more sense to stick to single cheek products. That way, if I use one up, I can just be done with it and not have a whole palette with like one empty pan. That just doesn't feel satisfying to me. Kind of in the same vein as face palettes, I've also stopped buying dual-ended products. Usually these are dual-ended cheek products. For example, like the Oma Beauty Contour and Highlight Stick or the NYX Wonder Stick. Both of these are products that I love. I've gotten tons of use out of them, but here's what ends up happening. Even if I were to use both the contour and the highlighter every single time I use this product, I'm still going to go through the contour more quickly. So this is what we have here. I still have a ton of highlighter left on this side, and I'm almost done with the contour. So once I'm finished with the contour, I'm just gonna have this whole entire stick in my collection just for the highlight, and I would much rather just have them separate. And I actually did see, good news if you like this product, or if you've been wanting to try it but you also don't care for dual-ended things for the same reason. I saw that Oma is now actually selling these as single, so I don't think they're selling the dual-ended stick anymore. You can buy the contour separately and the highlight separately, which I really appreciate. Knowing that, I might even repurchase the contour because it is a really great cream contour. And I love the NYX Wonder Stick as well. In fact, the cream highlight stick is actually what got me back into cream highlighter. I'm kind of like, I'm actually wearing cream highlighter today. I'm wearing the Oma one. But even still, it's very rare that you're going to end up using both sides at the same rate. So really, I am just team single cheek products. That just makes the most sense in my brain and the way I organize things. But like I said, I can definitely still see the appeal of these products, especially if you're on the go. It's nice to have a 2-in-1, but it's just not for me, you know? Next one, I never thought I would say this, but I have stopped buying press-on nails. I went through like a 2-year phase where I was heavily into press-on nails. Like I was having so much fun doing the press-on nails. I still have some sets of press-ons that I'm still gonna use, but I kind of just got tired of having fake nails on my fingers. Like the nice thing about press-ons, and the reason I switched from regular polish to press-ons, is generally press-ons are going to actually last. Like I was able to get 1 to 2 weeks of wear out of my press-on nails, whereas with nail polish, usually my nails end up chipping within a few days of wearing it. So it's like I went through all this trouble of painting my nails and now they're chipped. So I do feel like press-ons, they take the same amount of time to do as actually painting my nails, but I get way more wear out of them. So that's what I like about them. And also it's way cheaper than going to the salon and getting like acrylics done. But I kind of just got to a point where I got sick of feeling fake nails on my fingers. Like the feeling just started driving me crazy having them on for more than a few days. So I kind of feel like my press-on phase is coming to an end. I haven't bought any new ones. Also, even if you're super careful about how you apply them, how you take them off, I still would end up getting some damage to my nails whenever I used press-ons. And I ended up getting like some ridges in my actual fingernail, especially like this thumbnail, that I think is because of wearing press-on nails. I'm not positive, but I feel like it's finally starting to grow out. But, you know, they're definitely not the best for your nails. So I'm kind of starting to see the appeal again of just regular nail polish. And I have a ton of nail polishes anyway that I really should get more use out of. So I don't have my nails painted right now, but lately I have been painting my nails a little bit more often just because it's kind of fun. Like it's a nice little relaxing activity. If anyone has any good top coat recommendations that allow you to get more wear out of your nail polish, let me know because I'm definitely in the market. I'm currently using the Orly. It's like the top to bottom, so it's like a base and top coat in one. And it's okay, but I feel like there's probably something better out there. So yeah, I think if I had a really good long wearing top coat, I would probably end up using my nail polishes more often and getting more wear out of them. So that's where I'm at with nails, but also I'm very content to just have my nails unpainted. I've also heard good things about the nail wraps, like the decals. So I'm definitely open to trying those as well, but I also would just like to use the nail polishes that I have. Okay, kind of a weird one, but I feel like it's still worth sharing. Cleansing cuffs. Okay, have you guys seen those? It's a cuff that you can wear around your wrist when you're washing your face, and it prevents the water from getting all over your counter, dripping down your arms, getting on your shirt, whatever. For me, these have become an essential in my getting unready routine at night because I absolutely cannot stand when I'm like cleansing my face and there's like half dirty makeup water getting all over my counter. I can't stand that. I've gone through 2 pairs of cleansing cuffs. The first one was almost like a workout band sort of material, and after a while they just kind of got like a gross mildewy smell that I could not get rid of. I think because it was a really thick fabric and it would hold on to moisture. Even I would hang them up to dry, but they would still just hold on to moisture. So those I ended up just having to toss because I just could not get rid of the smell. So I got another pair of cleansing cuffs, used them for about a year, but the elastic got worn out pretty quickly. Since I retired that pair of cleansing cuffs, I have just been using an old pair of socks as my cleansing cuffs, and it has worked like a charm. So these are my cleansing cuffs now. It's an old pair of fleecy socks. So you can see this is where like the heel is. And I cut off just the toe of the sock, so it's just open now. And it does the exact same thing. This was a pair of socks that I had had for years. They were getting really worn out, like the bottom was getting worn out, but now they have a new purpose. And I've been using this same pair of socks as my cleansing cuffs for the last, like at least a year now. So that's what I would recommend doing instead of going and buying cleansing cuffs. If you want to try something similar, go in your sock drawer, find your oldest pair of socks. You can even do it with a few if you have like multiple pairs that you want to rotate. And I just toss them in with the towels when we do laundry, and it works great. So I really don't see the need to ever buy like a proper pair of cleansing cuffs again, because you can just get them for free out of your sock drawer. The last thing I've stopped buying, and this is actually the only thing that is not beauty related on this list, but I have completely stopped buying paper planners. I used to get sucked in every year around New Year's. I would get so excited to go to Target, look at all the planners and pick one out, and I would use it religiously for maybe a few months, and then I would completely abandon it. I was very resistant to any sort of digital planning method for a long time. I don't know why. I think I was just kind of romanticizing the idea of like a pen and paper planner. Like, they're really fun. There's all kinds of great designs out there, and you kind of buy them and get this false sense of motivation and like, wow, I'm so organized. Look at me with my fancy planner. But 2023 was the first year in I don't know how long that I didn't buy a paper planner, and I just switched to Google Calendar. And guess what? It does the exact same thing, and it completely eliminates the clutter of an extra notebook lying around. Because I don't know about you, but anything paper related, it just creates so much clutter. I don't know, like I have like a stack of paper things over there that I need to sort through. It just gets really annoying. So having one less paper thing to keep track of has actually been so nice. It's really simplified everything. And Google Calendar, it's free. You can sync it with your email and your Google Drive. There's also Google Keep, which is kind of like the Google version of like the Notes app. You can also sync that with Google Calendar, so you can keep like a weekly to-do list. And while you're looking at your Google Calendar, you can pull it up on the side, and then you can go in and actually put things in the calendar. It's just so nice and so easy, and I love how visually streamlined it all is. And the best part is, I've actually stuck with planning way better using Google Calendar than I ever have with a paper planner. So this one was a no-brainer. Planners can get really expensive, and I know New Year's is right around the corner. If you, like me, every year would buy a paper planner, get really excited to use it for a couple months, and then just ditch it, I recommend trying Google Calendar. Maybe even try it for the next month and just see how you like it, and then maybe by the time New Year's rolls around, you won't even feel the need to get a paper planner. The other thing I really like about Google Calendar is that you can just easily move things around. Whereas with a paper calendar, if you, let's say you wrote out like a whole elaborate plan for the day, but then something came up halfway through the day and you weren't able to get to the rest of it, you can't really change it once you've written it down. I mean, obviously you can cross things out and write it for the next day, but it's way more pleasing to me to just be able to drag a task or whatever to the next day, and easy as that. Now you don't have to think about it until the next day. I just love Google Calendar. I'm very passionate about it, if you can't tell. So those are the items I'm no longer buying in 2023, and hopefully into 2024 as well. I would love to hear down below, what is something that you stopped buying, whether it's beauty related or just anything else, could be anything random. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you're enjoying Vlogmas. I can't believe we're more than halfway through already. I'm uploading every day leading up to my birthday, which is December 1st. So throughout the rest of this week, we'll have daily uploads. Really excited. And I officially took my pumpkins down. For a little while there, I had both my Christmas trees and my pumpkins in my background because it was still like Thanksgiving time. But now that Thanksgiving is over, the holidays are in full swing, and we got nothing but Christmas trees back here. So anyway, that's all. I'm in a weird mood apparently, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun. If you did, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you very soon in my next video.